What if I told you that Durin changes everything? But there are no buts. Now before we even begin, why am I saying that he changes everything? Well, it's cause in patch 6.2, not only are we getting Durin and Yahoda, we are also getting buffs to existing Mondstadt characters, namely Venti, Klee, Mona, Albedo, Sucrose, Razor, Fischl and Durin himself will be joining the Hexing Circle and becoming what's called as magic characters. And you know what this means? It means getting you to spend on banners, which is why you should check out our sponsor for today, Top Up Live, which is a safe and reliable site to top up in-game at a large discount than the actual in-game prices. Just go to the site and search Genshin to see all available discounts with max discounts of up to 28%. They even have special bundles which guarantee enough crystals to get the character on the banner. All you need to do is enter your UID, select the server and use my code TREBLE to the payment and boom! You just got your gems in mere seconds. Do note that if your first time bonus is available, you'll get that discount as well. So use the link in the description to get some crystals today and use my code TREBLE to get an additional 12% off. Thanks to Top Up Live for sponsoring today's video and let's get right back into it. So like I was saying, we are also getting buffs to existing Mondstadt characters, thus making many of them almost start to reach today's meta standards. So let's discuss the teams which will help you reach those DPS numbers along with the buffs to existing units. Do note that all the buffs to existing characters require 2 magic characters in the team to be activated. So Durin will be in many of the teams I discussed. Starting off with Venti, whose normal attacks now do Anemo damage while his burst is active, and doing 2 of these Anemo infused normals increases his burst duration by 2 seconds, making it last for a total of 10 seconds, and burst cooldown by 1 second, making it 16 seconds. On top of this, while the burst is active, if any party member triggers swirl reaction, they'll have their damage increased by 50% and Venti's burst will deal 135% of its original damage. Now due to these buffs, Venti becomes the second best Anemo DPS in the game, going beyond Wanderer but still behind Chaska. And so his best team right now is the team with Innefa, Durin and Aino, which calculates at 80,000. Basically everyone in this team does damage aside from Aino, who's there to make others do damage by providing Hydro for a reaction. You can also replace Aino with Mona and it calcs almost the same. But one thing to note is to have Venti on Viridescent in these teams, as the rest set provided by it will be better damage overall than Venti on the DPS set. And speaking of that, since Venti is pretty much a DPS now, his best set will be Echoes, as that provides a lot of normal attack damage bonus. And one of the best teams with that set is the Hyper Carry team with Faruzan, Bennett and Durin. Faruzan and Bennett are here just to buff Venti, while Durin acts as the second magic character in the team, activating the magic character buffs while also providing 35% Pyro and Anemo Rest Shred, along with being a solid sub DPS. Also, in the last update, Venti got his burst positioning fixed, so instead of it spawning at a fixed distance, it will now spawn at the location of the enemy closest to you, which will help you with enemies which don't move much, like Perpetual Mechanical Array. Do note that this team calcs at 74,000, which is more or less the same DPS number as the Wanderer team with Venti. The purpose of Venti being here is to buff Wanderer's damage by 50% while his burst is active. However, you can choose to play a sustainless team without Bennett by replacing him with Faruzan, and this will result in a 1k DPS increase, so it's not really worth the hassle in my opinion. If you don't have Faruzan C6, then you can use him with the Albedo. But wait, that doesn't make any sense. And well, you're correct in thinking that in this patch. However, Albedo's new kit makes him a viable option for Venti. And if you have been enjoying this video so far, then a sub to the channel would make you win every 50-50. And if you want to support even more, scroll 2 inches down this video and click the subscribe plus button to join the channel memberships and gain exclusive perks like directly DMing me on Discord or even a Genshin account review. Okay, so back to Albedo. You see, his new kit makes it so that after using his skill, if the main Isotoma is on field and elemental skill damage is dealt to the enemy, so basically the transient blossom damage, it will summon silver, or as I like to call them, phantom Isotomas, which will stay on field even after the main one gets destroyed. And these silver Isotomas work in the same way as the main Isotoma, so you would still be getting the geo damage and still be restricted to a circle. But one interesting thing is that these special Isotomas cannot be broken by the enemy, which is why I call them phantom Isotomas. On top of this, whenever the main isotoma is created, all party members gain 4% normal, charge, plunge, elemental skill and burst damage increase for every 1000 points of defense he has for up to 12%. And whenever a phantom isotoma is created, you get the same buffs but this time 10% for up to 30%, making it a 42% buff if albedo has 3000 points of defense. And this is why albedo works in the Venti team, cause he buffs everyone's every skill. Now besides this, you can use albedo in the role he was already good in, and that with geo characters like Navia, whose team with Bennett, Durin and albedo is the new best team compared to the previous best team with Mauvika. And the good thing about this team is that it frees up Mauvika for other teams. Now the other geo character who gets a new best team is Ito with albedo, Durin and Goro C6. And this team calculates at 70,000 DPS, which is an upgrade over his current best team with Innefa, Furina and Chilonen. But this team is sustainless, so that would most definitely be an issue. Now if you're one of the 0 people who still play Noelle, then albedo can also be used with her in her new best team with Chiori and albedo. Now one interesting core albedo can form with Durin is with Chilonen, cause with these three you're getting Red Shred from Durin and Chilonen and buff from albedo and Chilonen, while Geo itself stays as a neutral element, so you can still do reactions. Case in point, you can fill the 4th slot here with either Nuvolate or Ryosley, and in both of these teams, Durin will be the one vaping or melting, so dark form Durin will be preferred. Another favorite team of mine which you can play him in is with Glini, but his overload team with Fischl calculates higher than the albedo one. Though in my opinion, in practical gameplay, the albedo team will be better due to pyro crystallized shields, allowing Glini to charge attack safely. And while we are talking about favorite characters, you can also play him with the OG Natlan units Kinich and Mualani. In the Kinich team, albedo acts as an Emily replacement, and in the Mualani team, he is just there, not interfering with any reactions, buffing everyone and dealing solid off-field damage. And finally, you can also play the brother and sister of destruction comp with Klee, albedo, Durin and Bennett, though this team is kinda ass, so you'd be better off replacing Durin with Furina and Bennett with Chilonen so that you aren't confined to a circle and vaping the hell out of enemies. And while we are talking about Klee, let's discuss the buffs to her kit as well. So first up, while her burst is active, her normal attack chain will not reset. So if you did N1, N2 followed by her skill, then the normal attack chain would not reset and you would continue from N3 the next attack you do. On top of that, while Klee has an explosive stack and N3 is dealt, she'll automatically do her special charge attack without needing to hold the left mouse button. Additionally, any normal attack, skill or burst done by her will grant her 1 stack of Boom Badge, maximum being 3. And each stack of Boom Badge increases her special charge attack damage by 110, 125 and 150% of its original damage. So the vape team with Furina calculates at 84,000 and is much better than the team with Durin, which calculates at 69,000. Besides this, you can play her in a burning comp with Emily, and this team is pretty solid as Emily does a lot of damage while Durin will be providing Red Shred for the 3 damage dealers in the team. Other than this, you can also play her in overload comps with Chevreuse, Fischl and Durin. You can also replace Durin with Bennett if you can play Klee while being confined to circle impact. Now both of these teams calculate for a solid number at 88,000 with Durin and 81,000 with Bennett. But what if you don't have Pom-Pom C6? Well, in that case, you can combine both Bennett and Durin in the team, but this will result in a lot less team DPS of 71,000 as Pom-Pom's Red Shred and buffs are just that good. And with that, we are done discussing the buffs for these 3 characters. In the next video, we'll discuss the remaining magic characters along with maybe solo Durin comps. Overall, I think the buffs to magic characters at least made them usable again, if not god tier DPS. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy with that because I can use Venti as a DPS, which I'm kinda hyped about.